I want to ask a question of the black community. First of all, there was a lot of excitement a year ago about the candidacy of the first viable candidate, the first one to win or at least allegedly, the nomination of the Democratic Party to become the president of America. Now that a year has passed and you've had this man, Barack Hussein Obama, as the alleged president of America, the question has been raised by a large number of pundits, including people like Don Lemon on CNN. What has changed in the black community? What was expected in the black community? And has the black community been uplifted or made better since the Obama alleged presidency? And the answers are, without hesitation, we need to give him more time. We need to give him more time. I've not heard one person, whether privately, publicly, in a magazine article, newspaper, radio, or television, state that the conditions of black people in America are better now because of the alleged presidency of Barack Hussein Obama. Not one person has said that life is better, or conditions are better, or that black people are better, or that America is better. Now, I have not heard anyone black state that. Perchance someone has said it, I haven't heard it. What I have heard incessantly, what I have heard without ceasing, is that we have to give him more time. Can I say something to the black community, that your Messiah has not come, that he is not the Messiah, and first of all, he's not a black president, but we're not going to argue that right now. Can I say something to you? One of the things that he has had time to do, since everybody is now stating, well, we got to give him more time. When he came, well, first of all, when David Paterson, who is now the governor of the state of New York, major state, major Democratic stronghold, David Paterson, a black man, now the governor by default, Lieutenant Governor, the governor, Eliot Spitzer, ruined his life. Lieutenant Governor David Paterson became the governor, in fact. David Paterson is the son of a noted Harlem and national leader called Basil Patterson, who's been involved in politics going all the way back, as far as anybody can remember, in Harlem, all the way back to Hewlin Jack and a whole lot of others, and calling names now most people aren't familiar with. David Paterson, his son. Obama, when the question was raised after Obama's choosing of Hillary Clinton to be the Secretary of State, opening up a place for the governor to appoint a senator to the U.S. Senate, because that's the governor's power to do, he appointed Christine Gillibrand to be the governor. And perhaps Obama thought that because he didn't appoint Caroline Kennedy or someone else, that he would punish David Paterson, who is a black man. And Obama began to speak out against David Paterson, that he's ineffective. Indeed, the Obama camp said about David Paterson, a black man, that he should not run for election in the year 2010, that he should give it up, let somebody else be governor. Now, this is the first African-American president, allegedly, the first African-American governor of New York, the first African-American president saying the black man and the governor should not run for governorship of New York, that he's ineffective. The reports were leaking out of the White House ship that David Paterson was a poor leader, didn't know what he was doing, ought to give it up. David Paterson didn't think so, and then said, in fact, that Obama and all his people need to mind their own business. He's running for governor, and he is, and I congratulate him. I might even be given to support him. I don't think I will, but I congratulate the fact that he told the Obama people, you don't run New York, you don't run me. I'm glad to see that David Paterson stood up to this alleged African-American president. Bill Thompson, who has been in New York politics since he was a little boy, made it to the second highest office in New York City politics as controller. put his hat in the ring a year or so ago to run for mayor of New York. Black man. Obama came to town back in the summer on a date to New York to take in a Broadway play and have dinner. And they all thought when he came here he was going to endorse Bill Thompson as mayor or to be mayor. He did not. He came several times. He never endorsed Bill Thompson. Mike Bloomberg spent over $100 million in campaign ads and television, newspaper ads and posters and walking around money to buy the New York City mayoralship out of the clutches of Bill Thompson, who really legally should be mayor today. It is also reported on Democracy Now! From our friend up in the Bronx stated, and it's true, that Michael Bloomberg gave a local Baptist pastor, a black preacher here in Harlem, $1 million to quash the black effort, to get out the vote black effort that would put Bill Thompson in office. Bill Thompson, Michael Bloomberg last Tuesday won the election by 4 percentage points after spending over $100 million in campaign ads. Bill Thompson came in 4 points shy of winning the city of New York. Now, in all intents and purposes, Bill Thompson is the mayor of New York because he genuinely did win it. 4 points with all the money that Mike Bloomberg spent. But here's what I want to say to you. You say that Obama has not had enough time to do anything to help black people. Well, here are 2 black men that he could have helped, but instead he turned his back on them. 2 black men running in 2 of the most prestigious races in America. Other than the presidency, the mayor of New York is the biggest thing going. Obama would not support another black man, Bill Thompson, the governor of the state of New York, a black man. David Paterson of this great state of New York. Obama told him, get out of the running, get out of office, go somewhere and hide. So now, for those of you out there saying he hasn't had enough time to do anything for black people, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What he has done for black people is to crush them, to step on them. He stepped on David Paterson, he stepped on Bill Thompson, and he'll step on you, black man. He'll step on you too. One final thing. It's enough that Obama has not invited his black Kenyan grandmother, 80 years old, been living in the squalor of Kenya all these years. It's enough that he has not invited her here to America and honored her as any grandson would honor his grandmother. It's enough that he hasn't done that. But you know, I'm sure his grandmother is distraught. I'm sure she's put out. I'm sure she's upset that her grandson has not acknowledged her. The President of the United States has not acknowledged her, I'm sure. But 282 black youth have been killed in Chicago, where Obama comes from, where he lives, and he didn't so much think it worth his while to go back to Chicago, stand there on the street where Albert Heroin was beaten to death by a group of black youth, and at least call for peace. He hasn't even done that. Rather than going to Chicago, he went to the golf course. Obama has spent more time on the golf course than any president in America. He's been on the golf course more in 8 months than George Bush went in 8 years. Could not he have gone to Chicago and prayed for those black people? Or if he didn't want to pray, at least his presence would have invoked a sense that I care for black people. You say he hasn't had enough time? If you add up the number of times that he plays 18 holes when he plays, if you add add up the time that Obama has spent on the golf course, take just a fraction of it, 10% of the time that he spent on the golf course, take that 10% of time towards working for the uplift of the black community that worships him as the Messiah, it would change the black world. You say he hasn't had enough time. Is that what you're saying? You say he hasn't had enough time. You see how sick this whole thing is? You see how demented all Barack Hussein, the long-legged Mac Daddy Obama, has done since he's been in office is step on black people. Ask David Patterson, ask Bill Thompson, ask the mothers and the youth out in Chicago where he came from that voted for him, that gave him his first opportunity. All he's done is step on black people. You're a black president. And his grandmama has not even so much as received an invitation